What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Blind Power. So today we want to talk about photography, and if you're blind or visually impaired, how is photography, going to be, and what you should do to improve your photography. So first off, if you're using an iPhone, so any iPhone from like the 3GS and up, basically you can get descriptions of what the camera is looking at. So if I open up camera on my iPhone in here, and I gotta turn voiceover on. Let's do it. Just turn voiceover on, and I'll show you what I mean.
Voiceover on.
Okay, so I'm gonna open up the camera app.
Camera button.
Okay, and now I'm gonna switch to
Camera chooser. Back facing. Camera chooser. Back facing. Button. Camera chooser. Back facing.
So now.
Camera chooser. Back facing. Camera chooser. One face. Large face. Face near bottom edge.
So it'll basically talk about faces and multiple faces and stuff. Now that's cool, right? But then...
Zero faces. One face. Large face. Face near bottom edge. Zero faces.
And it tells you where the face is. So the reason why you would want that...
Selected. Voiceover. Button. Voiceover off.
I guess if you're taking iPhone pictures, that's cool, right? It'll tell you if something's in focus or out of focus. And that's fine, it helps you a little bit if you have an iPhone. So let's get that out of the way. With Android it works as well. It's not as great, I've shown you before, but it works fine. Same concept as the iPhone. Now, if you want to be professional and you have, a nice camera like this, and you have your big lens, and you can take the kind of pictures you want to take, there's more to it than just using voiceover to depend on it, because this doesn't have voiceover, it's just a camera that doesn't speak or anything. So let's get started on doing things. So the first thing, as I show you the tips, I'm going to show you pictures as well, and try to kind of make it all nice and artsy. So the first thing is, if I'm going to turn it into, so always try to, I always like to film on Creative Auto. So Creative Auto is basically a mode for the camera that it knows what you're taking a picture of. If you're taking a picture of a flower or a building, it knows what you're taking a picture of. So what I'm gonna do is, if you want to get like a steady camera, the idea is, if your body's like a stabilizer. So if you hold the camera up to your chest, or like level like this, like I'm holding it now, so I'm holding it level to my chest, the camera looking forward. Basically, I'm getting a lower angle shot. So if I'm going to take a picture, I just boom, I got my picture. So it's very hit or miss, like if you don't know what you're looking at. But with practice, if you walk up to something and then walk backwards to the amount like that you want, so if you take a picture of a statue or something, you can do that as well. And you basically hold it like I'm holding it, you walk up to the statue and then you walk back. That's one way you can do it, put it up to your chest. The other way, which is kind of my favorite way, is hold it up to your forehead. I'm gonna take my glasses off, and I'm basically just gonna hold it to my forehead. So basically I'm gonna hold it like this, so the whole thing to my forehead, and then now whatever I'm looking at, I can take a picture of. And then now it says into focus. And I took a picture. Now this is a zoom lens, so it's not gonna, none of the pictures here are that great. Here's an example for you. So none of the pictures here are that great because of the fact that, this is a zoom lens and this is for their distances. Now, that is the best idea, even for filming, because your head is always gonna be stabilized as long as you don't have a shaky hand. You could put a forehead strap. You can rig a GoPro. There's like a GoPro to tripod mount, and you can do that, so you can use a GoPro forehead mount on your camera. And I'm actually considering buying one because I do enjoy doing that, because you get a different perspective on photos than when you're actually taking pictures, per se, just guessing. You're like, oh yeah, you know, this is gonna be good. You know, and you're not really putting it to your forehead or your chest. You're guaranteed to not get this most stable shot or the most focused one. So that's one way. Now, the thing I wanted, you heard that beep, beep. Have that enabled on your camera. Canon and Sony have it. It's called a focus. It's a focus sound or something. So basically, the beep means it's not in focus, and then you hold down the trigger a little bit more until you hear it's in focus. It'll go beep, and it takes a picture. It's a focus sound effect that the cameras have, and I don't know if they did that on accessibility wise, or they just did it because they thought it was useful. I have no idea why. However, comes in handy. Now, the best camera, you know, you don't necessarily need a DSLR to take great pictures. You can use your phone, but if you want a DSLR and you have one, my favorite lens is 18 to 55 millimeter for anybody, you know, visually impaired or blind or sighted, because it's got more field of view. You know, right now I'm recording on a 18 to 55, and it's at 18 right now, and I have so much viewing angle, and I love that. So that way, you know, if you're totally blind or you're visually impaired, you're gonna most likely get the shot you want, and then in post-production you can crop in if need be, but you have a lot of wiggle room. With this lens, which this is the 70 to 300. This lens right now this is 70, so I'm gonna walk up to the camera here. This is 70, and then this is 300. So I could take a picture of a statue from far away on a boat or something. Very, very nice setup for further distance shots. However, it's not as stable and it's not as wide angle. So preferably 18 to 55, or even 18 to 35, which I think they are cheaper. You can get one of those and they do the job as well. They're like 70 bucks and they work fine. This lens here is like 250, but because you have that 18 to 55, you get a little bit of the zoom and you get stabilization. And that works well. As a blind visually impaired person, you know, especially if you're totally blind and you have like no way of determining if there's light or not, get a wide aperture lens. So basically a symbol called the f-stop. So preferably in the, you know, if you've ever heard of like f1.5 or f, you know, the lower the f-stop, you know, the lower the f's, the better it is at low light per se, and the higher the better it is in high contrast. So you want like a wide aperture so that you can take pictures in low light. And if you have no light perception and you're totally blind, you know, if you're at nighttime at 11 p.m. and walking around a city like New York City that has lights and then no lights and stuff, basically it'll take a nicer picture because it's taking advantage of the f-stop, you know, the low light, and then you can see the skyscrapers and everything, and it looks really cool. Like this picture right there that I popped in front. So I guess the thing is, you don't need a DSLR, but you know, if you do have DSLR, you know, you want to have that wide angle lens so you don't miss so many things. And then, you know, if you don't have the budgeting or whatever, get a GoPro. Right now there's a $200 GoPro. If you don't want to use your phone for pictures, the GoPro has a very wide angle view, and they have the forehead strap so you can put it on your forehead and just take pictures that way and record. The GoPro's like super wide angle, or you know, some of the phones like the LG, the LG G7 is a really good one that's got like really wide angle. The iPhone 10 has wide angle, but it's not as wide angle. But you know, you can always get the little lenses that make it wide angle. I'll put some in the description as well. So happy picture taking. Hope these tips helped you. And at the end here, I'm gonna put some pictures that I've taken with different scenarios by using the method that I'm talking about, you know, the forehead and the chest method. They do work for video stabilization. You don't get any shake because your body is a natural stabilizer. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment, rate, subscribe, you know what to do. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Hit the subscribe button and remember to enable the notification bell to get all notifications of blind power uploads. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.